Another finger.
An important executive disappeared 3 days before the bombing. Already there's an inference, or two inferences. Somebody got him, or else he knew something was coming for him and he ducked out. Now, look at the memos. Point 3.
You got another finger.
A standard reference word. The Encyclopedia Britannica seems to be wrong about when the Illuminati came into existence. They say 18th century Germany. But the other memos trace it back to, let's see, Spain in the 17th century, France in the 17th century, and then in the 11th century back to Italy, then halfway across the world to Afghanistan. So, we've got a second inference. If the Britannica is wrong about when the thing started, they may be wrong about when it ended. Now, put these 3 points and 2 inferences together, and the Illuminati got the editor and blew up his office. Nuts! I still say you're going too fast. Maybe I'm not going fast enough. So sad. An organization that has existed for a couple of centuries minimum and kept its secrets pretty well hidden most of that time might be pretty strong by now.
He trailed off into silence and closed his eyes to concentrate. After a moment, he looked at the younger man with a searching glance. Muldoon had been thinking too.
I've seen men land on the moon,
He said,
I've seen students break into the administration offices and shit in the dean's wastebasket. I've even seen nuns in miniskirts. But this international conspiracy existing in secret for 800 years, it's like opening a door in your own house and finding James Bond and the President of the United States personally shooting it out with Fu Manchu and the 5 original Marx Brothers. You're trying to convince yourself, not me, Barney. It sticks out so far that you could break it into 3 pieces and each one would be long enough to pull somebody up in the Bronx. There is a secret society that keeps screwing up international politics. Every intelligent person has suspected that at one time or another. Nobody wants war anymore, but wars keep happening. Why? Face it, Barney. This is the heavy case we've always had nightmares about. It's a cast iron. If it were a corpse, all 6 pallbearers would get double hernias at the funeral. Well,
so prompted.
well, we're either gonna have to do something or get off the pot, as my sainted mother used to say.
It was the year when they finally immanentized the eschaton. On April the 1st, the world's great powers came closer to nuclear war than ever before, all because of an obscure island named Fernando Poo. But while all other eyes turned to the UN building in apprehension and desperate hope, there lived in Las Vegas a unique person known as Carmel. His house was on Date Street and had a magnificent view of the desert, which he appreciated. He liked to spend long hours looking at the wild cactus wasteland, although he did not know why. If you told him that he was symbolically turning his back upon mankind, he would not have understood you, nor would he have been insulted. The remark would be merely irrelevant to him. If you added that he himself was a desert creature like the Gila monster and the rattlesnake, he would have grown bored and classified you as a fool. To Carmel, most of the world were fools who asked meaningless questions, worried about pointless issues. Only a few, like himself, had discovered what was really important: money, and pursued it without distractions, scruples, or irrelevancies. His favourite moments were those, like this night of April the 1st, when he sat and tallied his take for the month and looked out his picture window occasionally at the flat, sandy landscape, dimly lit by the lights of the city behind him. In this physical and emotional desert, he experienced happiness, or something as close to happiness as he could ever find. His girls had earned $46,000 during March, of which he took $23,000 after paying 10% to the Brotherhood for permission to operate without molestation by banana-nosed Maldonado soldiers. This left a tidy profit of $20,700, all of it tax-free. Little Carmel, who stood 5 feet 2 and had the face of a mournful weasel, beamed as he contemplated his calculations. His emotion was as inexpressible in normal terms as that of a necrophile who had just broken into the town morgue. He had tried every possible sexual combination with his girls. None gave him the frisson of looking at a figure like that at the end of a month. He did not know that he would have another $5 million and incidentally become the most important human being on Earth before May the 1st. If you tried to explain it to him, he would have brushed everything else aside and asked merely,
The $5 million. How many throats do I have to cut to get my hands on it?
But wait. Get out the atlas and look up Africa. Run your eyes down the map of the western coast of that continent until you come to Equatorial Guinea. Stop at the bend where part of the Atlantic Ocean curves inward and becomes the Bight of Biafra. You will note a chain of small islands. You will further observe that one of these is Fernando Po. There, in the capital city of Santa Isabel during the early 1970s, Captain Ernesto Tequila y Mota carefully read and reread Edward Luttwak's Coup d'etat, a practical handbook, and placidly went about following Luttwak's formula for a perfect coup d'etat in Santa Isabel. He set up a timetable, made his first converts among other officers, formed a clique, and began the slow process of arranging things so that officers likely to be loyal to Equatorial Guinea would be on assignment at least 48 hours away from the capital city when the coup occurred. He drafted the first proclamation to be issued by his new government. It took the best slogans of the most powerful left-wing and right-wing groups on the island and embedded them firmly in a tapioca-like context of bland liberal conservatism. It fit Luttwak's prescription excellently, giving everybody on the island some small hope that his own interests and beliefs would be advanced by the new regime. And after 3 years of planning, he struck. The key officials of the old regime were quickly, bloodlessly placed under house arrest. Troops under the command of officers in the cabal occupied the power stations and newspaper offices. The inoffensively fascist, conservative, liberal, communist proclamation of the new People's Republic of Fernando Po went forth the world over the radio station in Santa Isabel. Ernesto Tequila y Mota achieved his ambition. Promotion from captain to generalissimo in one step. Now at last, he began wondering about how one went about governing a country. He would probably have to read a new book.